when companies start using you as a barometer of like how legit their product is, that shows you've made it to a certain level. So in some sense, Lawrence Wong's post is a bit like humble brag. People making deep fakes of me to sell shit. Woohoo!
Yeah, I remember influencers used to talk about that on like Tinder and all. They're like, oh my god, like Tinder, profile.
Yeah,
I don't go on Tinder because there are too many fake profiles of me.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, really? Then now fucking like politicians also doing it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terrence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man.
Yeah.
What a cheeky smile, Terrence.
No, I'm just very glad you took the brief of like, looking to the camera when giving this introduction. So those people who are not watching on YouTube, if you see us on YouTube now, there's always this awkward moments at the start of the podcast.
Yeah.
Where we're just looking around, drinking water as the music starts, right? And then we jump into the intro.
Yeah, for like 3 seconds. For like 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. It's always awkward. So it's like, I think if we did a compilation of all those first 3 seconds on
it'll
every
be
podcast,
awkward as hell.
It'll be damn weird. Yeah. It's just a dude going about his day.
No, that's why now we have that little hook that we do at the start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. A lot of changes recently
to
the format of the YouTube presentation.
Yeah. And I mean, so far it seems to be working. People are enjoying it, so we're gonna keep doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's mid-December, man.
Yeah. And we just went through. I mean, it was quite a busy week for the podcast last week, right? A couple of heavyweights on the podcast.
Yeah.
Shanmugam came on.
Yeah.
And then Soryong was on as well.
Yeah.
And then we had a podcast in between that, countdown podcast. But biggest thing of all was, I think, because Tristen was away. So holding the fort was just mainly the two of us.
Yeah. So we're glad to have Tristen back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back, Tristen.
He's very well rested and he's ready to go again.
Yeah, I remember during one of the podcasts, like it just stopped recording like after 2 minutes, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So I mean, now we're back. We're back to steady state. So closing in on the end of the year.
Yeah.
Not going to be our review episode yet, even though some people have foreseen that we might be doing something.
Yeah. Maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe we'll switch it up this year where it's not so much the search trends or something else. It could be anything else, right?
Yeah, it could be something. Always keep you guys guessing, man.
Yeah. I mean, like our episode about the accountability and transparency. I thought that was quite interesting because it was themed. A themed countdown, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Maybe more like that.
Yeah. But this episode, back to good old news. I mean, some interesting stuff happening. Nothing like monumental yet, but still definitely talk worthy.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
I mean, COVID's back, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't have you been hearing, how has COVID been impacting you?
Actually not yet. But it almost feels like this is a familiar feeling.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, wait, am I due for another vaccine? How many vaccines have I done? How many vaccines are people supposed to have done? And all that.
Correct.
But that's all tied to the first topic.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I just found it funny that COVID, like, it's coming up again as an excuse for a lot of things, for not meeting up, for not...
Oh, is it? You're... Oh, yeah,
there are people who don't want to meet up because of COVID or they have COVID.
Yeah.
There are people like, we can't get this done because, half the office is down with COVID. Things like that.
But you cannot have people saying they don't want to meet up for fear of COVID, is
for
it?
fear of COVID, yeah.
Oh,
like, they want to... Yeah, I mean, now's the season for large gatherings and all that, right? Inadvertently, I just had like 2 gatherings over the weekend that were not planned to be very large, but somehow they ballooned into bigger things. And I just ended up like hitting up the Christmas playlist on Spotify and it became a Christmas party already. So it was like, I realized there's a lot of people who are down with COVID or sick or they like don't want to come because they're scared of COVID and all.
Yeah.
So back to the good old days of 2021.
Good old days, Terrence. Good old days.
The nightmarish days.
Yeah. In fact, now, it's all the memories coming back, which is weird, because I think my first, realization was, like, a few weeks ago. My friend was down, and then he was telling me, he went to the clinic, and there was a long queues,
Yeah.
And then, more recently, I mean, okay, so before we carry on talking about COVID, just our normal plug, which is what, Terrence?
You're not talking about the weather?
No. Today the weather was it's warm, lah. It's warm, so nothing to talk about yet.
Not that great, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, the usual. I mean, like if you're new to this podcast, especially on YouTube, I think hit subscribe and hit the notification bell every time so that you'll be updated every time we have a new video. Because our videos are pretty exciting to watch now, right? A lot of interesting guests and the formats of the videos. Of course, if you're still on Spotify and you're stuck on your commute and you're listening to this as well, welcome. Also please make sure to follow to keep up to date with our end of year programs.
Yeah.
And what else, Harish?
That if you want to work with us, we've had some interesting conversations over the past week with people who have emailed us. So if you want to work with us as an individual, a company, you can reach us at contact@ministryoffunny.com.
What are some of the interesting professions that have reached out to you?
Ex-lawyers.
Ex-lawyers, yes.
Ex-management consultants.
Ex-consultants, okay.
A few brands. Yeah. Illustrators. Voiceover artists.
Yeah.
So a whole range. I mean, people who want to work with us in some way.
Yeah.
Be it an intern or marketing or something like that.
Yep.
So we will always reply. And if it's worth a chat, we will chat.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yes. Moving on to the first topic,
which
is related to what we've been discussing.
COVID, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the most recent thing in the news related to COVID was Lawrence Wong, Deputy Prime Minister. He posted on Facebook with a misinformation alert. Like the picture was really just a red square with yellow and black a border. Misinformation alert. Stay vigilant online. So basically, he had been alerted to scam posts and messages, deep fakes of him endorsing commercial products, and also news that apparently the government is looking to reinstate a circuit breaker. So he just closed it off by saying, these are all falsehoods. Let's stay vigilant and discerning online.
Yeah.
Then there was a lot more chatter about the spike in the number of COVID cases. I think the last press release on 8th December, the Ministry of Health, MOH, said that the cases reported from November 26th to December 2nd was 32,035, which is a big rise from 22,094 the previous week, which is the highest this year, I think. The highest
just for
this
1
year.
week. Right?
For 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at the graph, all the stats are publicly available. The graph, like the last peak was in March, which I think was 28,000, and then boom, now 32,000.
Yeah.
So
welcome back, COVID.
Welcome back.
Yeah, not welcome.
Welcome back. I mean, like even the vaccination status, right? Like I don't even remember off the top of my head how many vaccinations I have. Do you?
SingPass, bro.
I know off the top of my head, lah.
Why do you need it off the top of your head?
Fucking think SingPass is on the top of my head, is it?
Who asks you for your vaccination status? Like,
what if you don't have your phone? If you're just like walking and all, you're like, hey shit, what is my vaccination status? Off the top of your head, Terence.
You don't need to know this off the top of your head.
No, so off the top of your head, you don't know, lah.
I don't know. Yeah,
so then just say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like I don't remember a lot of phone numbers these days. You don't need to remember them anymore, right?
But off the top of your head, you might remember 1 or 2 phone numbers.
But do you need to?
You don't need to. The question is not that whether you need to or not. I'm just saying off the top of your head. You might have some other stuff that you have placed off the top of your head, right?
Your wife's phone number, you remember?
I do. But I won't deny that. I will always have to double check. I'll be like, okay. Yeah. Do you remember it like sweet one?
I mean, there's a jingle to it, lah. So once you have that mnemonic, it helps you remember things more easily.
Like you created a jingle.
No, I mean, it's not like, 235355, that kind of thing.
Shopee.
Or was a Canadian pizza, 241, that kind of thing, lah. You do that for the important
so you
numbers.
Did that for your wife's number?
Yeah, I mean, there are things, I remember certain things about it, like, it's a certain year and it's a certain radio station, that kind of thing. And those numbers come to me. Yeah. It's mnemonics, man. Mnemonics, yeah.
Shut up, all these cheap words. What does mnemonics mean again?
I think it means just methods of helping you remember things more easily.
There's a whole science behind it, right?
There's a lot of techniques,
So now you think you damn baller, got mnemonics.
I feel like I could go on like some Korean reality show and
recite the pi to 1,000 digits.
And be like the winner.
Mnemonics. But so off the top of my head, I don't know how many vaccinations I have. And I'm thinking, because I think there was even some news in the past saying that they encourage people to take a booster shot 1 year after your last vaccination.
Yeah.
So all these things coming back, I'm like, oh shit. Then even for my mom, I'm like, wait, does she need a vaccination? I don't know. But all these questions are coming up because COVID, I think over the past few weeks, have you also felt that, okay, it's creeping back?
Yeah, definitely.
And how do you feel it?
Cases appearing in my kids' preschool. Like I mentioned, people saying, "Oh, half my office is down with COVID." And people like not wanting to meet in big groups because of COVID and all that.
But like the symptoms of the people that you know who kena COVID, how bad has it been?
It hasn't been that bad.
It hasn't been that bad,
like
right?
a couple of days and they're back on their feet again. Whereas the first time is always the cuts the deepest, as they say, you know.
And I think also I can imagine companies and people even saying, you know what, maybe I just work from home to be safe, Which I mean I can see a lot of people appreciating,
But they actually I've heard the reverse.
Is it?
A lot of companies now have gone back to like full work from office and whatever COVID.
No
cares?
change.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's a bit like inflation, right? You know, when the moment you start getting people back in the office, it's very hard to go back to work from home.
And I can imagine some companies, I mean certain businesses, like even for us, for the longest time we were doing podcasts remotely, right?
Yeah.
We realized, why not just record video? And it has been a big difference, right?
It has been a big difference.
Yeah.
And I mean just being in the room and being able to like that is a bit more
water cooler conversations.
Yeah, water cooler conversations. Easier to connect with guests and everything.
Yeah. Most guests.
Most guests. Most guests, yes, we would say.
Most guests.
Yes.
I mean, like just looking at the numbers, I think the average daily hospitalized and ICU cases have still not reached the peak of like March, which is good. But yeah, like I mean, I guess the bigger thing is the misinformation about circuit breaker and all that. Like what made you want to talk about this and Lawrence Wong and all?
I mean, I was trying very hard to find the Lawrence Wong deepfakes. Because I wanted to see like what are you selling that you want to get Lawrence Wong to endorse your thing? Is it like vitamins or medical products or something? Or is it like something related to fintech or finance and all that, right? Or, because I think I've seen some of those ads which I think they use images of Goh Chok Tong or Lee Hsien Loong or Lee Kuan Yew and all that. But Lawrence Wong endorsing products, that's a new one. And that to me is like, it's probably the sign that you've made it, right? When companies start using you as a barometer of like how legit their product is, that shows you've made it to a certain level. So in some sense, Lawrence Wong's post is a bit like humble brag. People making deep fix of me to sell shit. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Right.
Then in the article also they quoted like other MPs or ministers that have had fake social media accounts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the exact same thing. You post, oh my god, another person is impersonating me. Oh, poor me. I'm so influential. I'm so popular that people are going to use mine.
Yeah. At first I thought, I was like, oh, okay, wow, this person is being so nice, putting a PSA out there. But I think I started seeing on Instagram like people who are just posting stories of how fake accounts are springing up of them and like trying to get money, and they were almost felt like they were gloating about it.
Exactly.
You know the couple of people I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. Because I remember influencers used to talk about that on like Tinder and all. They're like, oh my god, like Tinder, profile. I don't go on Tinder because there are too many fake profiles of me. Yeah. Then I'm like, really? Then now fucking like politicians also doing it.
Fake profile.
It's fake profiles.
Because I went to search. I can't find it. And I mean, okay, I did a very off the top of my head kind of search like Google. But I would think that if there were these deepfakes, they would come up more readily. But or they would have screenshots of it in the
so you couldn't find anything, huh?
The only thing I could find was something that someone posted in May 2023. His name is Tan Chuan Jin. He posted something about how ministers were deepfaked onto the F4 boy band videos. And he posted as a joke. And you go to the Coconuts article that talks about it. The video, unfortunately, is unavailable. I'm guessing because it was on Tan Chuan Jin's TikTok account.
Oh, I see.
So you can't watch it anymore. But yeah, at least there are screenshots of it. And yes, Lawrence Wong is deepfaked onto the face of one of the boy band members.
But then if an article were to write this and they put Lawrence Wong's face on the deepfake, then people will just copy that and share.
Yeah. But I thought the article you can screenshot. You don't have to put the post itself, right?
But screenshot, then people will still kind of like screenshot it and all.
Yeah. So it kind of depends. I don't know what they deepfaked him as. Because remember there were cases of I think it was Tin Pei Ling. There were members of the public, someone who deepfaked her onto like an erotic model's body or something like that.
Mm.
And that image went around, and I remember it was very dehumanizing, demeaning to her.
Yeah.
I don't know if the same has been done for Lawrence Wong, or has it been scrubbed off the internet already.
But like, you know, it's like you're saying, what sort of products or deepfakes? You mentioned like fintech or something, right?
Yeah.
I think if I had to guess, it would be something that's totally not in his domain. Because fintech feels a bit too official.
MOF, Minister of
Yeah.
Finance. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, guitars.
Oh yeah, he is a big guitar aficionado.
Yeah. Spectacles.
Spectacles, he always has. Hair wax, like hair gel.
Pomade.
Brio cream, After David Beckham, the next
Isn't it Brill cream?
I don't know.
I think it's Brill cream.
BRYL, right?
I think this is where my pronunciation will come through. Brill cream.
Yeah, omelette.
I think it's Brill cream.
Doesn't matter. Omelette. I don't care. I don't care what the public says about it. I'm just going to pronounce it my way.
It's Brill cream.
Because that shows that I'm edgy.
You know how many Indian uncles have been using Brill cream for generations?
Now we became about race.
But like seriously, did your uncles use Brill cream?
I think I used Brio cream at some point.
You used Brill cream?
Yeah. Brio cream. Yeah, I used Brio cream.
It's Brill cream. It's Brill cream. I'm willing to go the extra.
Omelette.
Yeah, but maybe Lawrence Wong, Brill cream, potentially.
Possibly.
Some shirt brand or something. But I mean, like the thing is, what I found interesting was that how come there's no like huge POFMAs being announced on this? Isn't it like even the thing about the circuit breaker or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, where is that coming? Coming from, of course, you don't want to share the link to an article, or maybe it's just on like forums or something like or WhatsApp groups.
Maybe it's like banner ads and things like that.
You mean the circuit breaker?
Oh no. Then maybe those are just rumors lah.
Yeah.
So there's not much that they can do.
Yeah.
To cut it out lah. Yeah.
Rumors, yeah. But then the products, I mean, that has to be on a platform unless it's also via WhatsApp lah. Because if it's Facebook or TikTok, given that, I mean, Shanmugam is willing to sue TikTok for false rumors of him spreading. This one, there was no. I mean, it just felt weird for such a major thing. It is just a Facebook post.
Maybe it has been POFMA. We wouldn't know yet lah, right? Sometimes these POFMA things, they're not announced. They don't gain a lot of fanfare when they're done, right?
Is there a list of ongoing POFMAs? Like a POFMA status report?
There probably is, right? Because it is something that they have to publish.
Oh, there's a POFMA office.
Yeah. So maybe there is, and we don't know yet. Maybe this is just whetting the appetite lah. That's what Lawrence Wong is doing.
Whetting the appetite.
A teaser of the POFMAs that are coming out this weekend.
Kind of like warning all those people who are on Canva, with his face on some product. Just about to hit launch or hit release. You're like, oh fuck, he's onto us. He's onto us.
But yeah, I mean, I would suppose, at the end of the day, all these scammers, they're getting more and more sophisticated in their approach, right? Like, I don't know, have you got those calls where people are like, hey, Harish?
I got messages, yeah.
Oh, you haven't got the actual
I haven't
calls.
Got calls yet.
I've gotten I've been targeted for all these calls recently. And it's very smart. They use what I've heard is they use the banking app like PayNow or what. They just type in your number. And because your number is usually tied to your full name and everything.
Yeah.
So they get your full name. Then they call you. They just call you and then they know both my Chinese and my English name.
Wow.
So is to breed you, is to lure you into that sense of like, this guy knows both my English and Chinese name. He must be somebody I know,
Also, by doing that via PayNow, you get the person's full name.
Yeah. Welcome to Smart Nation.
Oh shit.
So smart, right? Brilliant. So yeah, they're using these apps. I mean, not say that it's very sophisticated, but they're exploiting all the loopholes lah. To try and like socially engineer you into giving up your
So then
details.
What did they say when they call you?
Hey, Terrence, in Chinese, remember me? You remember? Yeah, Junxiang, remember me? My Chinese name is Junxiang. I mean, now I'm putting it out there. So anyway, the scammers already have it.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. And then they're like, hey, remember, you don't remember me? You remember my old friend? Remember you told me that time you blah, blah, blah. They'll just start like try to bait you into conversation. And if you entertain them, it's like it's very easy to think that, hey, did I really forget this guy? Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't have a lot of old friends that call me out of the blue like that. And secondly, Not even my mother calls me by my Chinese name. Right?
This is one guy in Guangzhou. Like it's just thinking, I met Terrence at uni.
Yeah, he forgets
he forget me.
I just wanted to call him like on his birthday and just say hello.
Yeah, that's why.
And just put down the phone on me.
I really admired him in school. We were so close, and now he doesn't remember me at all.
Yeah. But the truth is, nobody calls like that anymore. It's creepy to just call people out of the blue.
I've gotten the message before, like, hey, Harish, long time no see. Let's catch up soon. Then normally, like, I've also connected the ones by the profile where it's some good-looking girl or something.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, just fucking no. Last time I think on Facebook, when I used to get like a friend request from a hot girl, and then I see like 2 common friends. I'm like, must be legit. Except.
No, I know because I used to get those requests also. And then I always see that Harish Tilani is one of the common friends. No, really. You came up very often. But don't worry, I'm not indicting you. I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying
at least maybe 3 only, at most 3.
Because Harish, is a personality, people recognize you. A lot more people who you don't actually know at you. Whereas for me, it doesn't happen often. So I'm like, oh, come on, this is bullshit, right?
Okay,
but Harish, I understand. It's not that you're naive or that
it's not.
You're thinking with your other head. It's just that, your personality.
Exactly.
See, I give you a soft landing right there.
That was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that's why this thing, at some point, given that COVID, everyone's kind of feels okay, not on edge yet, but it's in the orbit. I would have thought there would be a more, a concerted effort to allay concerns. Because right now it just feels like, just, stay vigilant online, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
man. It's, but yeah, deepfakes, it's not a new thing also.
Yeah, it's not.
But if anything, remember our conversation with Shanmugam? I think one of the things that struck me is the really long-term view that he has about what something like a tool like POFMA is, right? And it doesn't matter about 1 or 2 posts, but it's the entirety of the narrative that I think what POFMA, how they use how they think about POFMA, right? That people might not appreciate or might get upset about a certain POFMA being used a certain way for now, right? But the long-term view is that in terms of trying to correct falsehoods and things like that, the long-term view is more important than the short-term, the short-term pain from it, right?
And even if the short-term, it brings more attention to it.
Yeah, correct. Right. And I think that's something we explicitly asked that. And that we spoke. Excuse me, I don't know why that spat. Yeah, suddenly talk about POFMA, suddenly I'm spitting. But yeah. We've spoken
so many reasons to watch the YouTube version of this.
Yeah. We've spoken a lot about the Tristen effect, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got to ask him about it. And I'm glad that the answer also kind of showed that they really think longer term about it. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that maybe this deepfake thing really doesn't register in the longer term for them. It's like Lawrence Wong F4. I mean, literally, Tan Chuan Jin was posting it as a funny thing 6 months ago, That's not that long ago.
Yeah. And now the quality of deepfakes, I think on TikTok, I just saw a Justin Bieber filter.
Oh, okay.
Which looks insane.
Oh.
It makes anyone look like Justin Bieber. It's a filter.
But what if your skin color is not the same as Justin Bieber?
They will still... Okay, so I haven't tried it yet.
No, this is the...
I saw videos of people doing it. I was like, oh shit. Because you can see them without the filter. Then they turn on the filter and oh crap. Yeah, it really concerns... makes your face, gives you a beard and all that.
It's all white people, I suppose.
No, Asian.
Asian people.
I saw some Asian people.
Also Asian person looking like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Oh, that means the skin color is preserved.
Yeah.
The original skin color.
As in, and maybe there's some way to correct it. If you look at the filters now, they are fucking crazy. So I wouldn't, if you just do a Lawrence Wong filter or something.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's where it's probably this new thing that the government has been thinking about, or how to battle. There's one thing about issuing POFMAs to written text or videos.
Yeah.
But these sort of things, how to
POFMA a filter.
Yeah. Even though I did hear about this one technology that's being done by some tech company. I cannot remember. I don't think it's one of the big tech companies, but they have a 90% accuracy of detecting deepfakes.
Oh yeah.
Based on the because when your blood circulates around your body, apparently the blood can be there's a pulse in every part of your body. So they use that to detect whether it's a real living person or it's deepfake. Yeah.
No,
So
that's a good use of technology.
yeah, it's a good use of technology, but it's still not 100% accurate lah.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, there's probably a ton of companies that are investing a lot of money to have these deep fake detectors lah.
Yeah. It's like those, I think in universities, they subscribe to services that allow them to check for plagiarism, right?
Oh yeah,
They submit students' essays, and then I think just based on algorithms and all that, they can see whether it's been copied from somewhere before lah.
Yeah, correct.
Well, that's cool lah, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. And then the whole thing, it is a huge problem because now I notice also, I think it's on Facebook or email where people are just, where did I see this? It was something about how on a place that I didn't expect people to have verified badges.
Yeah.
They just added it as a like an emoji or something. So then I'm like, hey, shit, I can't remember it was email or something. Then it works it plays on your psychology.
It works, yeah.
So yeah, man.
But if Singapore, hypothetically, do you think Singapore will ever go back to circuit breaker again?
I think it'll be the last resort when people start dying. Then I think.
But even then, I feel like we've gone through the experience and almost realized in certain ways how much of what we did was necessary, right? Because now we have a lot more information than before. Back then we had no information. That's why something like a circuit breaker was, felt like it was necessary. But now you have the information, you have the data, and I think they can make a lot more calculated guesses, right? About death rates and things like that.
But on the flip side, the fact that we have done it once, where there probably is a lot of data that also shows that there was it did do a lot of what it needed to do, which was to curb the rise, right? And because we've done it, I can totally imagine in future will be like, okay, circuit breaker, fucking go back to this steady state that was circuit breaker. And your companies, individuals, government, all they just default. It's almost like in the army, you're mobilized.
Yeah.
This one, okay, guys, code orange, DOSCON.
DOSCON orange.
DOSCON orange, right?
Yeah.
Boom, go back to circuit breaker. Then everyone's like, fuck. But it's almost you've done it before.
Yeah. Like schools home-based learning. They can activate it anytime. It's very easy. Yeah.
Also, it's like a protocol, is it?
Yeah. Like they do home-based learning because teachers, I think teachers need time to go and mark papers, things like that. Then I think it becomes home-based learning for a day.
So I think it's probably some last resort thing that there's a whole bunch of regulation, protocol, policies where they will just, okay guys, boom.
The protocols are there already.
Yeah. Then all the grocery stores also know, fuck, we need to increase our toilet paper orders by 2,000% or something like that.
ART kits and masks 50% more demand.
For a while, a few months ago, Panadol Extra was sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Such that even I think there's a MFA director who was shipping it illegally to China through diplomatic routes and got caught doing it.
The diplomatic bag, right? Yeah, that's true. He got caught.
A very high level, and I think people don't know the case. It was a very high level Ministry of Foreign Affairs person who was using diplomatic bags, which apparently are these bags that don't go through customs and all that, right? That are used to send diplomatic documents and important things between countries, and they don't get checked. And he was using to send Panadol to China, and apparently sending Rolex watches back to Singapore.
Yeah.
So it was like, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people are speculating is it Panadol in exchange for Rolex watches or something?
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like the whole, that whole thing. So now ART, I'm sure there are people stocking up on ART kits already.
Yeah.
Confirm. So
you don't have a stash at home, just in case.
The leftover from the last time. So a handful, if we need, we have.
Yeah, I tried to use one the other day and I ended up going through 2 or 3 because I just forgot how to do the test properly already.
So what do you do?
No, as in, now the one that I bought comes in different packages and different pieces. So I had to extract one by one and then figure out what's the steps I'm supposed to do. Because I went for the cheap option. There are these cheaper ART kits where they buy in bulk.
Yeah.
And they are in different bags.
You sure it's an ART kit or not?
It is.
Not like a... Yeah.
But I got confused. That's the thing. It's been a while. The muscle memory doesn't work that well already. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, so hopefully this doesn't spike.
Yeah. But I guess if anyone does see these deepfakes of Lawrence Wong, do screenshot them and put them on Reddit or something, just so that we all can see what these are. And the ones, especially the ones that are selling products or what, I kind of want to know what he's selling, or what the deepfake Lawrence Wong is selling. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, let's say if you just had one product that you think Lawrence Wong would sell damn well, would it be anything different from what we discussed just now? Like, if you just had to.
I think it'd be something related to crypto or something.
Oh, crypto, maybe.
Yeah. Because Singapore is always at the edge of financial innovation, right?
Yeah.
So for the Minister of Finance and upcoming Prime Minister to say something about crypto that can move markets, right?
I think cosmetics also.
Cosmetics,
Yeah.
do you think so?
I think for the aunties and all, there might be a target demographic.
Maybe,
cosmetics.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
man.
Yeah, that's the kind of crazy things that we are seeing online in Singapore. But there are also other Singaporean, very recognizable Singaporean institutions, or I won't say institutions, but like Singaporean icons,
icons
that have come under scrutiny lately. And this one's not deepfake. This one really happened because there's real video of it, and it's gotten people discussing. And what is this topic about?
It concerns our national carrier, Singapore Airlines, because a few days ago there was a passenger who flew business class with his son, who uploaded a clip showing an SIA stewardess on like spoon feeding his son, 5-year-old son, and she was like, kneeling down, and what he put on the caption was like, imagine you're on the best flight ever and you turn around and you see this. And then the caption was, what would you do if this happened to you? We're having the greatest flight ever, and this just made it even more perfect. So he posted it on Instagram. To date, I think he posted it on December 5th.
Yeah.
So in about a week, it has gotten like 507,000 likes.
Wow.
And I don't even know how many views. It's got 9,000 comments. Basically, it was divided lah.
Yeah.
It was divided. Some people saying that, okay, the boy looks old enough to feed himself. Then others are like, it is not the SIA stewardess' duty to feed the kid. While others are also like, oh my God, I love you, SIA, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, and like at first I thought this would just be an article on like, okay, it wasn't on Stomped. It made like some of the media in Singapore, but it's internationally covered also.
Yeah, internationally. Because he's Australian or something, is it?
I don't know. Okay, but it was a LA to Tokyo flight.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's Australian.
A Caucasian family,
man, Caucasian man,
yeah.
But yeah, it's gone like fucking international. I don't understand why. I mean, okay, I can sort of understand why, but yeah, like this one definitely polarizing, definitely polarizing.
How do you feel about it when you first heard about it? Because given that you used to work at SIA and all that, like maybe was the service always meant to be so good until like people were being spoon-fed on flights?
I mean, I was on the digital marketing / e-commerce side, so not so much of the stewardess training. But I do know that, I mean, service is always like the priority.
Yeah.
And a few times I've taken like SIA over the years, I don't know whether it's just nostalgia or like you're like, oh, this is my country carrier. There's always a very warm feeling online.
Yeah.
And I think service is really a core focus. Whether or not it is the stewardess' duty to feed children, I have no clue. But when this article came out, I'm like, oh my God, why do people get so pissed off about these kind of things?
Oh, so you are upset that people got pissed off about it?
I mean, the fact that it's gotten so much attention, I'm just like, why?
But why not? It's very debatable, this topic.
I mean, okay, it's debate. Okay, so just off the bat, like, do you see anything wrong with this?
It did feel a bit I wouldn't say condescending. A little bit right? Like a bit beneath what I would have imagined the scope of work for a stewardess or a steward would be right? Because spoon feeding a child and all that is like quite next level it means a lot of care, attention on one particular person and not to the rest of the people in the cabin But at the same time, we don't know how many people there were in the cabin. Were they the only ones in business class and all that, right?
Yeah.
But feeding a child is not like a 3-minute thing. Usually it's involves like you got to sit down for a while and cajole a child and slowly feed bit by bit, right? And I know because as a new dad, you kind of get used to like you settle the kid first, then you get to enjoy your own meal, if at all, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you don't have time to eat also, you see.
Yeah.
So I was quite surprised that that this stewardess would do that, lah. Because it does seem to me like, then what about all the other passengers, all the other guests on your business class cabin, lah? So I'm quite surprised that they actually did it, lah. Yeah.
I mean, for me, it is just an example of them going above and beyond their scope. And of course, that whole thing about what about the other passengers? I mean, without more info, I mean, I know stewardesses on planes, their job is not easy, lah, right?
Yeah.
But for business class, first class, the whole point is to show each passenger more attention because there's less of you.
Yeah.
And they will do things for people in business class that they wouldn't do for economy class, because that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, if she's really good with children and like the kid seems to be eating, actually for me it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's true. The flip side of it is that we don't know the situation there on the ground. Like, was the kid going through a meltdown that was affecting, the enjoyment of all the other passengers?
Yeah.
Such that, they needed to give him a iPad to watch and feed him at the same time so that the dad could get a break or something.
Yeah.
You don't know, lah.
Yeah, exactly.
And also maybe the stewardess really liked the kid, like really connected with him for whatever reason, and this is something she wanted to do herself. Okay, lah,
Yeah.
Because admittedly, I've flown on SQ a few times with my own kid, and I would say it's never really consistent, the level of service or attention that they show to a child, right? Some of them, stewardesses, they really like kids and they'll talk to them and they'll bring little knickknacks and gifts and give to your kid. Some don't really bother. Some treat them like any other passenger and even sort of, remind you to keep your seatbelt on and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So you won't get a consistent level of service, and maybe it's in her own personal capacity that she wanted to feed the child,
yeah,
which is I guess it's her prerogative, right?
Because you do see cases of like stewards and stewardesses doing stuff that maybe it's not part of their scope, but then the whole world is like, oh my god, it's so amazing,
Yeah.
The bigger question for me is, why is a kid sitting in business class?
I know, yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man. I mean, LA to Tokyo. So, okay, maybe he's loaded. Maybe like to him he can. It's just a penny in the ocean.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I mean, admittedly, I'm also not a dad. But like starting your kid 5 years old.
Yeah.
On business class, to me, is like, no, man, you got to work your way up, dude.
Correct.
First, you take bus.
Yeah.
Then you take train. Then if you cannot take the like, if it's in like you can't take like land transport, okay, fine. Then you got to build up, lah.
Sure. Just a cursory search: LA to Tokyo round trip flight. I just googled it. It's on the SQ. It's $5,645 for business class. Yeah.
For business class.
Yeah.
For a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Are you the dad? Like is this something, or you think like every parent has, like it's up to you,
Firstly, maybe it's not out of their own pocket. Maybe he's relocating or something, and then they I think a lot of MNCs, they give like business class flights for that particular flight when families are relocating, right?
Yeah.
I've heard before from friends and all who have relocated from other places. Secondly, it's I mean, maybe and it's very hard to for us, we've had a conversation with the woke salaryman guys on this podcast as well, where we asked the question, would you let your kids fly private jets, right? If you had even if you had the means to do so, would you let them? And I think that time all four of us here, we were like, fuck no, right? Like you'll let your kid sit the jet, and then after that you'll sit him down and maybe tekan him for like a while and remind him that life isn't that, it's not a bed of roses like that, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, how people want to bring up their kids is up to them.
Yeah.
You can't, not necessarily just because they fly business class, they'll end up as sport entitled brats. But people would say that, it's I think if anything, I'd be kind of worried for the dad, the family, that they are setting up this expectation that the kid will have, that flying is always like this first class thing where literally like young stewardesses are coming and spoon feed you. And then imagine he grows up and he's 18 and then he's like sitting there, waiting for stewardesses to come and feed his food. Then he'll look like an ass, right? It'll be very weird. So yeah, I would, if anything, for my kid to just get used to the economy and understand that flying has its ups and has its downs, a lot of downs, delays and very tight seats and all that. And then one day, if he can afford it and everything, he can go and buy business class tickets for himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then at the same time, like let's say if even like we get flown somewhere for some work stuff, and let's say we've
never been flown business class.
Yeah, I think the most is premium economy.
Premium economy, yeah.
And I remember we were given wine or something.
Yeah.
And we cheered. We were like, wow, fuck, okay, we made it, man.
In fact, even walking in past the economy class seats, we were like celebrating like we were like boarding our own private jet.
No, but we didn't have to go past economy, right? Premium economy is closer to the front.
No, as in at the gate.
When
just
they say
walking,
premium economy first. You get bored. We're like, all right,
we're like,
thank you, losers.
I remember that moment, yeah. It was a joyous moment.
Yeah, I remember that moment also.
Yeah.
And it was like a long trip. I think it was to London or something.
Oh, yes, it was to London.
Yeah, it was to London. That was fucking great,
Premium economy to London,
Premium economy.
I think we were just sitting there waiting to be spoon-fed or something, but it never came.
All we got was like white wine or like a glass of champagne.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one, so I mean, in the article, he also, and in the post, he clarified that the flight attendant had voluntarily asked for permission to sit by his son and that she's a mother.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of comments were like, those flight attendants have enough work to do. Flight attendants are not babysitters. They are there for the safety of the passengers. But at the same time, like going back to what I said, the lower steward to passenger ratio in business and first class, there is more time to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah, so if you ask other people who were in the business class at that time, they'd be like, no, I was very happy because that kept the kid quiet or something like that, gave me like 15 minutes to just like peace out a little bit, right?
Yeah. Or maybe they'll be like, fuck, man, like I also wanted to be fed.
How come I didn't get it?
No, but then the question is like what I was saying just now. Let's say in future for a project or something, we have flown business class and then your kid's coming.
Yeah.
Would you top up to put your kid in business class given that your flight is covered, maybe your wife's flight is covered, or you just tell your someone to go with him in economy class?
No, I think, in fact, I would say that when traveling as a family, actually it's easier that everyone just takes economy together.
Oh, why?
Because if you split it up and everything, it's very complicated. When even sitting separately, it becomes very complicated. Like you can't just take turns and I need to go toilet and then I just hand over to my spouse and then I go toilet, that kind of thing. Even sitting separate rows, you're like, fuck, it's damn troublesome, man. Like, oh, okay, you kid, you wait here. Let me go and call my spouse to come here and sit here. And then I go toilet, that kind of thing, So I'd rather just bite the bullet. Everybody just sits sits in the same row as much as possible.
So you would forgo your complimentary business class seat and say, you know what? I just need economy because I want to be with my family.
Sell on Carousel first. See if you can sell on Carousel. And then, yeah. No, I mean, but it really does make a lot more sense, especially with a young child to sit together in a row. It really makes it a more fun experience for everyone involved also. Yeah. Maybe not so fun for the people sitting around you all, but as a family, it helps to have two people really checking on and keeping the child entertained.
Yeah.
Even I would say even business class, the way it's laid out, where you can't sit in a row and everything, like next to each other, makes it a bit trickier.
Yeah.
A bit trickier. Because then as the dad or the mum sitting separately, you'd have to take off your seatbelt, go over and everything.
Yeah.
So there's business class.
What a gentleman, Terrence.
I'm literally pointing out the logistical difficulties when you have when you can't sit together with a child. And these are only things you learn as you do it yourself. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. I know whenever I board planes, walking, because you have to go past first class, business class, all this, I always wonder why don't they board from, okay, I was going to say if they board from the back. So as an economy class member, you don't need to walk past first class or business class.
Yeah.
But then you have to make the first class, business class people walk further. Or you board from different points. But then you...
Inefficient.
Very inefficient.
Yeah. It's there's a whole science to how you board planes.
Yeah, it's probably optimized like crazy already.
And do you think there's a aspirational quality, like they want the economy class to walk past the business class and feel like, oh, I wish I could have
I think so. Then you see all these people like with already eating, watching their shows, as you're like fucking hoping you got storage space above your seat and all. Yeah. Then they're like, it's just so easy to get annoyed at first class and business class passengers.
It is. Yeah. But yeah, traveling with a child, like, it almost like, to me, it's like it almost doesn't make sense to even if you can afford it to business class. Just the experience is different. Is it you can't enjoy your business class flight yourself that much also,
unless you have a stewardess feeding your son.
Unless you get a stewardess who is willing to babysit.
Yeah. Free. So I mean in any case, I think this bodes well even for SIA, right? I was just surprised that it got so much attention.
Positive or negative?
Like I probably got so much attention because it's polarizing. For me, I don't understand why it's so polarizing.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, like, I would imagine like business class. I mean, business class, they serve you in like things that like with plates, with like, a lot more space. It's almost impractical.
Yeah.
But that's because you're paying for it.
Yeah.
So in this case also, the higher service quality. Like if people were offended, like, oh, this is my son, I don't want a stranger dealing with my son.
Yeah.
That one maybe I can imagine a bit more. I don't know what she's feeding her, or feeding him. But it's not as more like, no, she needs to be concerned for the safety of the other passengers. Then I'm like the kid is too old for that crap. 5 years old, too old to spoon feed.
Wouldn't say too old, but they definitely can eat themselves already. So you are and okay, I think if he's just watching iPad and someone has to feed him, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you're encouraging them to just like sort of like, eating doesn't become part of the bonding process between the family or so. Right? It's just like your iPad and eating just for the sake of keeping your parents quiet. But also a lot of criticism about the dad, right? About how he's even like sort of celebrating this as a good thing and all.
Because he said he turned back and he saw this.
Yeah. so it's a bit like, well, that means you didn't even know that whether your child was eating
or not.
Yeah. Which is, it goes back to my point about when you sit business class or that you can't like, you're not close enough to do that usually.
Yeah. But interesting that it got that much attention.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But does that change your answer about wanting to? Will you ever let your kid fly business class?
As far as possible, no.
Yeah. Even free spoon feeding.
Don't.
Package everything.
Cannot. Don't. I think it was last time when I used to scuba dive until I fucking did stupid thing in my ear.
Yeah.
I remember, don't know who told me that their first dive was at, which is the famous dive spot of the oil rig in Eastern Malaysia.
Oh, I don't know, sir. I know what you're talking
There's like one and that was their first dive.
Yeah.
Then I don't know whether you were there also, because I did go on a diving trip with you. People I know who dive a lot, they said, wow, if that's your first diver, then like that's your baseline. It's nice to start at like the shittier places and build up from there, But if you go there first dive, so yeah, like what you say, if this guy grows up with like business class as his first kind of like interaction and like, oh shit, that's the baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's good, man.
But yeah.
I don't think that's good. But yeah. Maybe in future, people like if I ever fly business class with my kid, I'll hit my kid under the seat first. In case anyone listens to Yalapat, they're like, you fucking hypocrite. You hypocrite. Yeah. Kid will be under the seat.
Under the seat, and here you are eating your fucking omelets.
Omelette! One omelette.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the news of the weekend. But yeah, what is your one Shiok comment, man?
My one Shiok comment is a comment on Reddit by apprehensive_nail971. That was posted a day ago. And the post is like interesting online characters in SG. So my turn to suggest a topic. Basically, what this commenter was suggesting was like there's a few famous local characters that have hit the news. So they've become famous because they're weird, socially awkward, or even low IQ. Because I think there was this couple, the Kuolai and his wife, who I've heard a lot about. And they were very popular online, but I don't understand why. And I think it's something to do with maybe not the most positive aspects. And then there's Uncle Raymond and Kurt Tay. So, I mean, like, I mean, this poster was basically saying they want to understand these individuals. Should we feel enraged by their mockery of them? I think, yeah, if it's questions like that, then I think it might be worth getting them on or talking about them. But yeah, I just thought, okay, interesting topic. But we never want to get people on just for the sake of getting people on, lah.
Yeah.
Even though it might guarantee like a bunch of clicks or something, lah.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I just thought, because I have seen people do it. Like, I mean, that's why every guest we come on, we do think about whether it makes sense for our audience and whether we ourselves are curious, lah.
Like, what do you get out of it, lah? Right?
Yeah.
I think that's the more important thing.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, thanks for the suggestion. Like Kurt Tay, honestly, like the way he's being heckled now after the court cases, I don't know, man. That feels a bit weird. Like for the people who are heckling him also. So yeah. So I mean, who knows at some point. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah.
What about you, man?
My one short comment is just a thread that's going on YouTube about So Ryong, the podcast, and I'm highlighting this not because the comment is particularly good, but I think it's triggered a bit of a few comments and responses that I think is sort of captures the spirit of what we're trying to go after, right, on this podcast. So someone commented about So Ryong, amazing athlete but terrible human being. Just full stop like that. Then subsequently, there have been actually surprisingly like 4 replies since, where people are just asking him, do you know So Ryong in person? Or all you know about him is what the media reports about him and what people chat shit about him on social media platforms. And then there's a little bit of back and forth, and in general, people are asking, I'm cool with your opinion that you don't like him, but why? Can you explain why? And maybe he may appear narcissistic, but can you explain your view? So I think it's good that people are starting to move away from just saying like, oh, this guy is, he's so full of himself, arrogant, and sort of questioning, hey, if you're going to say that about him, right? What about all the other things that he has explained and said? And like even in our podcast where he basically has come out and sort of like put everything down on paper, like what happened in the whole Asian Games exclusion and all. And so I think a lot of people have heard this podcast and now they've heard his side of the story, which is what he did not get to say previously, right? Now they've heard his side of the story and they feel like, okay, I mean, yeah, he might be flawed, but there's no need to call him names, right? And you hear his side, you hear that side, and you make your own assessment of it, but why would you call him a terrible human being, right? Yeah.
Whereas maybe like a year or two ago, more people will be like, this guy one.
Yeah, if all the authorities are saying this about him, he must be terrible, right? Yeah.
Well, so he got redemption arc.
I believe so, and it started at the SEA Games with the water, where he passed the water to the Indonesian runner, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing it now literally on the comments in our podcast where people are there are other interesting ones where they're like, this guy, I laughed, got angry, irritated, and laughed again. Kind of tells you about, the kind of emotions you would have about someone like So Ryong, right?
Yeah,
he's not like your everyman, he's really
a character.
A character, once in a generation kind of talent also, right? Yeah. So interesting, right? That people are warming up to him that way. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. And what about your one Shiok thing, man?
Do you have yours? Let me just pull mine up.
Yeah. Yes. So mine was a video that was shared by Elon Musk, who has been in the news for, like, I'm seeing articles of like, Elon Musk is now like the end of Elon Musk is near or something. Because last week he was at a New York Times event on stage where he basically told advertisers who are pulling money from X to go fuck themselves.
Yep.
But this is my one Shiok thing is something from December 6th that he shared on Twitter. I think he was at a conference or something because you can hear his voice over it. But it's a video of the Cybertruck against a 911.
Oh, okay.
A Porsche 911. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
So, I mean, it starts off like it's a drag race, so side by side.
Yeah.
And then the Cybertruck is this futuristic thing that's going to be finally available next year.
Yeah.
So they start and like they film it, close up and all that. So, and the Cybertruck actually beats the 911.
Oh, wow.
But what they show at the end is as it goes past the finishing line, it is actually towing a 911.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just thought, I'm like, oh shit. Of course, now people are saying, oh, that's not the fastest version of the 911 and all that. But just as a video for marketing, right? I thought it was genius, man.
Yeah.
It was genius. So I mean, it's just one of the things that Tesla does very well.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos of that truck.
Yeah.
they drive it in like the rural areas and like in nature and everything, and it just looks so surreal, right?
Yeah.
Seeing that cyberpunk shaped vehicle.
Yeah,
driving
exactly.
around.
I think last time it went viral also was when they were doing a demo and they threw a steel ball at it and it broke,
Smash,
right?
Yeah,
It smashed. But yeah, I thought that was like, oh shit, this is genius marketing, yeah. So that was me. What about you, man?
There's actually it's like just a couple of trailers from the recent Game Awards, that was in that where they celebrate the best of games. A bit of controversy in itself, but a couple of trailers that of games that I think are quite interesting. One is Jurassic Park Survival, which is finally they're making a horror-ish game based on the Jurassic Park world. Because if you think about it, Jurassic Park has always been seen as like this family-friendly adventure where, I mean, a bit scary, but it's about family and kids and all that and dinosaurs. But you never think about the horror aspect of it, like getting eaten alive by dinosaurs and things. So they're creating a game called Jurassic Park Survival, which is a first-person game where you are just trying to survive. I think the original Jurassic Park island, it's a bit there's a game called Alien Isolation that was also like that.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the game was just about hiding and about escaping rather than about fighting. You're not shooting things and all that. You're just hiding and avoiding being caught. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. And the other one was a reveal trailer of a game called Overdose. That is by a collab between Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele. Yeah, they're making a game together.
Jordan Peele.
So the trailer is nothing but just some very realistic looking faces reacting to something that they're seeing that looks very scary. It's just one face after another. That's all it shows, but it's quite hyped up already. A lot of people are excited about the game, just knowing Kojima and Jordan Peele being involved in the game.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, but the Jurassic Park game sounds them awesome, yeah. And probably the graphics. Is it considered? That's not an open world, because you're contained to the island, right?
I believe it's a contained thing. I did play a bit of Alien Isolation. It's like, you sort of follow
on
a
the
certain
ship
path.
And all that,
yeah. But it really was not about getting ammo and shooting things. It was just about, okay, this hiding spot, there's a cupboard here, and you hide the cupboard, then you can see the thing go by you and stuff like that.
But why you played a bit only? You didn't carry on?
It's too scary. I'll admit, it is scary.
Is it?
To play. Yeah. These games are scary. These kind of games where you're avoiding getting caught. And you're helpless when you get caught, basically.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Wow. Is it game season or what? Like, so many things are...
No, there's this event called the Game Awards, which I think in recent years has become quite... like, a lot of celebrities attend, and they're the ones who present the prizes and all. And a lot of trailers are launched at the Game Awards. So I think a lot of gamers, the big games are announced or teased them.
Like
Yeah.
GTA.
But GTA, I don't think they launched it there. If I'm not wrong. I think it had its own launch. Game Awards has like a lot of indie launches or so and all. Yeah. So yeah, cool.
Cool, man. Awesome. But yeah, that's all for this episode.
Yeah.
As always, if you enjoyed this, it'd be great if you could share it with one other person.
Yes.
And follow us on social media, Spotify, Apple. Hit the notification so you receive an update every time a new episode is launched.
Yeah. And we have a survey that's still ongoing about what you thought about episode 466. Do fill it out. That helps us out a lot. Yeah.
Cool. And email us at contact@ministryoffunny if you want to work with us. Peace.